What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and today we're finally going to make the video I've been wanting to make for a while. Now a month or so ago we got a Kubota zero turn. It's the ZD1011 1011, and it's a 19 horsepower zero turn with a 54-inch cutting deck, and we got a few videos out there on that. But the reason we bought that zero turn was so that Mrs. Piney Grove could help me mow this 20 acres out here in North Florida. It needs mowing a lot, literally weekly. And it's not all 20 needs mowing, but a lot of it does. She agreed that if I got her a nice machine, she would help me mow, and she's been doing a great job with that. But what we mowed with for the 5 years prior to getting that zero turn was our tractor with the brush hog, and that is a 5-foot king cutter brush hog. It's got worn blades on it, but they're still in good shape, and that's a 39 horsepower tractor. I just sharpened the blades on this brush hog. I'll show you them in a second. And this has fairly new blades on it. The guy we bought it from just got it back from service. So we probably mowed 2 acres with those blades. They probably need touch up, but it'll be good enough for this little demonstration. You can see I've got a decent edge on my brush hog blade right there. It's not super sharp because you don't want it too sharp, then your blades will wear too quickly, but it's sharp enough to cut grass. So this will be our test area. Last week we mowed this with something, the brush hog or the zero turn, so we're not gonna focus on that. But you'll see there's a tall strip here, and we got bahia grass, probably 30 some inches tall with the stemmy part, and then the actual grass is probably 6 or 8 inches tall. So what we'll do is we'll take one trip down to the pond and back. It might be pushing 100 yards, maybe a little bit less. With each one, we'll time it, and this is gonna be all like unofficial and non-scientific. We'll just kind of do it for fun, but also to see if a brush hog can do as good as a zero turn or a finish mower, or vice versa, if the brush hog actually was the better thing to use out here in the first place. But we'll go down and back, and I'll use the timer on the camera for that, and then we'll go down and back with the zero turn, and then we'll look at it and we'll compare them, and we'll have some data and make some assumptions. Okay guys, I checked the footage, and the tractor went down and back in about 1 minute, about 1 minute 5 seconds. The zero turn went down and back closer to 120, 125, 1 minute and 25 seconds. And the finish or the quality of the mow is way different between the two. Now the tractor is swinging 2 blades under that brush hog, and it's 5 foot wide, and we're not going to worry about how wide did it mow, but just the quality. So it's got 2 cutting edges going, and that's this side. And then this side over here was 3 blades, 6 cutting edges, and 54 inches of width. And the results are kind of what I thought they'd be. You see all these tall stems? The zero turn wasn't able to knock them off. Now they had them both right around 5 inches as far as how far they were off the ground to cut the grass height. And a zero turn needs suction. So if I had put it at like 3 inches, we would have got a better result over on this side, but we still would have had some of these stems that the zero turn wouldn't be able to process. On the brush hog side, there's hardly a stem that you can see. There's 1 or 2 down there, but on the zero turn side, it's all stemmy. It just doesn't look good at all, to be honest with you. And that's what I thought we'd find. A zero turn needs to be down low so it gets that suction. And if we had done this at a 2-inch setting or something like that, it would have choked up with all of this extra thatch. So we would have had to go even slower, but we would have got a nice even mow. So I think the best way to state the results from this is a brush hog is not a bad choice if you have a lot of acreage to mow and you want a decent looking finish. If you want like that estate style of finish, you can use a zero turn, but you got to mow it more often. This grass or this bahia grass is at a height now, we're getting ready to hay it. I've got a friend that has some small equipment for a compact tractor, and he said he would come out here and hay it with us to make a video and just show how that process works. So we've been letting this grow. But you see the results here. The zero turn does not do as good a job as a brush hog in this condition. Now, if we were to switch to, say, this behind me over here, which was mowed a week ago, that's lower. There's no tall stems, and we could put both of them as low as we could. And I think we'd find that the zero turn would leave a better result than the brush hog, because the brush hog tends to rip, whereas the zero turn with all those blades is going to cut more cleanly. This is the zero turn side. This is the brush hog side. Brush hog, zero turn. So what does all that mean? Well, it means nothing, actually. Mrs. Piney Grove loves that zero turn. She actually said in a video, it doesn't even seem like work, and we will tend to keep the grass this short, like over here by my truck and over by the equipment, more so than in the pasture. Now, there will be times that it goes because we can't get to it because it's rainy or for whatever reason, and this just shows right here that we probably should hit it first with the tractor and then come back with the zero turn the next week, and that way the tractor will have mulched up everything. All right, guys, this is Feature Me coming back with an update on the zero turn. I've just spent the whole afternoon mowing the front part of Piney Grove on the roadside, and some of that bahia was this tall, and it was handling it no problem. Had to slow down a little bit, but I had the mower deck at about 2.5 or 3 instead of 5. So the zero turn definitely needs that suction to do a good job. So I'm going to mow a little bit here with it on 2.5 or 3 and let you see that it will do a good job in thick grass. As you can see, that's a much better cut there. I had the mower deck set at 2 inches, and I was going not as fast as it could go, but I was going pretty fast. I was trying to avoid throwing the grass into the road, if you're wondering why I was going in that weird pattern. That looks absolutely perfect. There's hardly a grass blade out of place there. So I think the zero turn redeemed itself. Can it do 2.5 foot, 3 foot bahia grass like we tested earlier and get it perfectly clean on the first pass? Probably not, but in most applications, a zero turn is not going to do that. All right, now we're going to return you back to past Brad. But hopefully you enjoyed today's demonstration of the zero turn versus the brush hog. If you did, please click that like button. Otherwise, until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard.